What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, host of the Philly Talk podcast, but we are back with Battleberg's podcast. We did 8 of these, and every time we left, we got a dub. Let's make it 9 in a row. Battleberg podcast, officially live. All 3 of us here on time. Actually, we went live a minute before. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
You're that man. You know who it is. You know what it is. Your boy Philly Fresh, aka the General. Listen, man. I got a big game coming up. People may not think so, but I do. But I think we get the job done. We're gonna talk about
it. Hey, what's good, everybody? Steve, K-City Sports Channel. Hey, man, second time around, right? Old Jimmy Johnson said we're gonna get our ass kicked tonight. So let's find out.
Yeah, he's definitely out there talking about this. Eagles team in general is different, and sometimes different looked to be unstoppable the first time, but the second time teams can pick up. Well, guess what? The only teams that are going to see us multiple times is our division. Now, granted, the division might be in the playoffs with us, and we might have to see a Vikings team again, a Packers team again if they come back around. But again, I think this offense has so many ways to get the job done and wrinkles inside of wrinkles. If you really want to, go that route, that I believe that we're going to show Jimmy Johnson and some of the world today that seeing us a second time might even be worse.
Hey, man, only I can say is you remember that meme that's been going around the internet here recently? You know what it says. Fuck around and find out. You could beat us. All right.
Yeah, the more you fuck around, the more you're gonna find out.
Exactly.
Hey man, listen. I don't know what has really changed. They're saying Chase Young might play okay. He really never does damage to us for real anyway.
They ruled him out. Just to let you know.
Oh, he is ruled out? He's ruled out? I mean, so what really has changed? I mean, the quarterback play is different, but we done beat up on Heineke too. Heineke don't got no wins against us. So when you look at it, like, it's just everything all week, man, all week. Really the last 3 weeks, it's been every little thing. People are trying to point at the Eagles and try to say that they're not worthy of being undefeated. You ain't play this person. You ain't do that. Like, stop it, man. They did not do this for the Patriots. I'm pretty sure they didn't do it for the 72 Dolphins. Like, stop it. We face competition. We dominate them. And then we go on about our business. So I don't understand what the hate is, maybe because of the Philadelphia Eagles and yada, yada, yada. If the Cowboys, if you flip records around with the Cowboys right now with us, everybody will be saying this is the best team ever. They're already saying, like you got dudes that saying that this is the best Cowboys team ever, and them dudes got, 3 losses? What are you talking about? How is this the best Cowboys team you ever seen? They say that every year, but all of a sudden, since it's really the best Eagles team we have ever seen right now. I mean, record-wise, you got to keep it a band. Record-wise, we are the best team we've ever seen, and people just want to go in shade and hate. It's ridiculous.
Nah, man, that sounds about right to me. You know, a 3-loss Cowboys team halfway through the season, probably the best Cowboys team ever.
I mean, to me, it's all similar. It's all similar. The crumble we saw last night was similar to, me going through decades of watching football and seeing what they do. What can go wrong will go wrong has always been my motto, and I'm gonna stick with it. But man, Fresh, you're right. When you look at the first time franchise history 8-0 with a chance to go 9-0, I think the schedule talk is just too much. When we've seen, we don't hear that the Vikings got an easy schedule. They struggled against the Saints, who thanks to the Saints, we got a number 4 pick. Just think. The Vikings struggled against that same, the number 4th overall pick so far. If they had their own pick, they struggled against a couple teams. The Commanders, a team we're about to play in an hour, the Vikings struggled against. The Commanders were up 17-7 or 17-something. The Vikings pulled back in and got the dub. It is what it is. Commanders ain't that good of a team, but nobody cares about the 8-1 Vikings struggling, right? The Giants, for as many people, and I still don't fully believe in them, but they're talking about that they just keep winning. Not that they struggled against the Texans more so than we did, right? I mean, Texans had multiple turnovers inside the red zone. And now if that happened to us, when we got them 5 fumbles or 4 fumbles against Jags, oh my God, if y'all didn't get the fumbles, y'all wouldn't have beat the Jags. But teams around the league are getting away with things that we're not allowed to get away with. Plus, you got a team like the Chiefs, who I think is the best team in the AFC, who physically lost to a team called the Colts. But that's just a oopsie. They can get an oopsie for a loss. We can't get an oopsie for a 12-point win against the Texans. A bad first half. Come on now.
Hey, you remember when they told us that we almost lost to Arizona? How's it feel to lose to the 3-6 Packers, bro? Any horseshoes almost don't count.
But it don't matter. Go ahead, Mike. Go.
No, you know what we could tell them? Remember when you almost beat the 3-6 Packers?
Exactly.
But here's the thing: it don't matter. I thought we all went by this model: a win is a win is a win. And when you got 8 of them in a row, and not only that, let's talk about it. We really had 11 in a regular season wins. 11 in a row? Like, this is something spectacular that they're trying to take away from us. We're sitting here and we are seeing greatness being put on display with this team, with this quarterback, with these wide receivers, with the defense. And they're trying to take it away from us. No, we are dominating anybody you put in front of us. We have not. Sorry, y'all. That's the airline. I'm in the airlines. Hold on.
Nah, I see my guy here, Jay Yo, chiming in and says, until we beat Dallas in Jerry's house. You mean the house that Howie built? Because that's what they're going to call it after we destroy y'all on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I never heard of all these rules until now. Now these rules exist. Go ahead, Fresh.
No, but basically what I'm saying is like, when we have not been down at halftime really ever in the season, and that's something that now we've been tied, but we have not been down. That is something I don't know if that's really ever been done. I would have to do some research on it, but within 8 games, never being down not 1 second in the second quarter, that's immaculate, man. And yes, you got it's not, I don't really call them blunders. I really call it, to me, it just seemed like a coaching thing. How they let their foot off the gas. Now, as fans, we just want to tear their throats out and wear it as a necklace. I get it. I understand it. But to me, other than the injury to Avante, Maddox, and also and also Davis, which are major injuries, we have really been injury free. He's not pushing these guys to do too much. You get what I'm saying? I think Nick Sirianni is really pressing the right buttons when it comes to players, how he's playing them, and the pressure that he's putting on the NFL. Because he knows if it gets close, we just pull out some bag of tricks. You know what I mean? And we're going to take the lead again. We're going to go up double digits again. And there's nothing that you can do about it. This offense is unstoppable. The defense they got to figure out the run, and we're going to see tonight. They got to figure out stopping the run. But you cannot. I don't know who can stop this offense. You're going to have to call the 85 Bears. I don't know who's going to stop this offense, man. Seriously.
So the chat is talking about it, and we touched on it backstage. Wanted to let this settle through. We're about 9 minutes in. So Avante Maddox is not only ruled out for this Monday night matchup, which happened a couple days ago, but now the Eagles decide to put him on IR. What that means is the smallest time he's going to miss is the next 4 weeks. I think we all think Josiah Scott, who got a clean bill of health the second half of this week for practice and whatnot, he's going to take the role. But how does Avante Maddox missing tonight, not just tonight, but going forward, affect this football team on the defensive side of the ball?
Mike, that's a tough one, man, because I've been pretty favorable to Josiah Scott. I put him on my 53. I thought he was pretty much viewed very well from the coaching staff. I've talked up the fact that he's very good in short zone. I think he reads things well in the short zone, and I do think that there are some redeemable attributes about his play. With that said, is he Avante Maddox when you're chasing a guy across formation? Probably not. That's where I think it get a little tricky when you talk about coverage, right? Is that Avante shifts and moves his body in a way that it's there's only so many human beings in the world that can do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't put that expectation on every single dude. Like, he's a little bit of a athletic freak. So, I mean, I think they just got to play to the strengths, man. And it's scary because luckily I heard that they like to play Jahan Dotson actually outside. They like to play him as the flanker. And that's probably to our advantage because I would not want to see that matchup in the slot. I think that would be a problem, to be quite honest. I think we would have to pay attention to that. With that said, though, Mike, you know how this organization is, man. We don't make mistakes like other teams that forget that we won a Super Bowl with our backup left tackle and backup quarterback. But we don't make excuses. You got to go up there, man. It's the next man out there. You got to just an undefeated team. Nobody's going to accept that excuse come Tuesday morning if it happens. You got to play.
Yeah. That's facts. How you ended is definitely a perfect way to end it. You're undefeated. Everybody's looking. Everybody's going to give you their best. Everybody's trying to give you that loss. So no matter what, you got to come bring it. And if Isaiah Scott is going to be the guy to have to, step up, well, he needs to step up big. I know he's a small guy. I get it. I understand it. But they're also going to have to play help around him. I would like to see some more, some roaming from C.J. Gardner-Johnson around his side, whatever side that he's on. He's going to need help. You know what I mean? Especially getting it back into the groove of things. Hasn't really played since what was that, week 3? Hasn't played since week 3. So when you just not getting reps, man. But can I say this real fast? Now that we're on the secondary, I don't want to see Kayvon Wallace on the field ever again until he figures out how to play. He was horrible against the Texans. Horrible. Like, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I'm just sitting here watching him, and it that drive that I think it was their last drive. No, it was the second to last drive. This dude, he was everywhere where the ball was at. Wherever Kayvon Wallace was, that's where Mills or whatever his name was throwing the ball. He was horrible. I don't know if y'all seen it, but I did.
It's a larger question on a video that hit for me, which was I didn't expect it, man, but that Nakobe Dean video took off for me big time. And part of what I was summarizing in there is part of the reason we have not had an opportunity to see Nakobe Dean in a lot of snaps on the season is Gannon really likes to play that big nickel and the giant dime. He likes to load up 3 safeties, whether it's in a nickel or the dime. And that basically creates a situation where you don't need a heavy rotation at linebacker. The way I theorize it is if you start playing more 4-2-5 and you start playing more 52, where you're getting those rotations in at the linebacker spot, you see Nakobe Dean. I mean, at this point, Reese, I'll just kind of flip it back on you. I know I didn't answer your question, but I'll flip it right back. Would you rather see Nakobe Dean in there, or would you rather see Kayvon Wallace?
I mean, Nakobe Dean without question. It's not. That's not even a. I don't even take a millisecond to answer that. I mean, yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, let the kid get on the field. Let's see what he got. Let's see what he got because Kayvon Wallace is not the answer, and we know that. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely tough. The package they were putting him in, and it wasn't just him. Marcus Epps definitely had one of his bad games as well. I think the whole secondary as a whole, when you look at the tackling, what was not good. Pierce was running through this defense, and I got to give both the players tackling, the secondary players tackling, and Jonathan Gannon, because I did see a lot of light boxes, and I understand you can get caught in a light box every once in a while, but there was sequences of the Texans offense where it was just they not stopping or they not going to do anything else but run. And we continue to say, when I play Madden, I stay in the nickel. That's because it's a football, it's a game. It's a game. And you could blitz and somewhat, how Avante Maddox and Marcus Epps make tackle in open space in the game. But there's got to be a time where you adjust and get a different package and live to die by something else. I'm not saying that I won't be as mad as Jonathan Gannon if he changes up and then boom, like a 40-yard pass comes. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I'd rather be arguing about, okay, we got beat this, that, and the third, but I can't see the same thing happen over and over. If you get beat 5 times, I want it to be 3 different or 4 different times out of the 5, not the exact same way, because it just shows that we're rolling over in that sense. To me, Marcus Kane with the $2 super chat real quick. He said, "Let's get them shots going, Mike." I don't know, man. I stayed up later than I wanted to last night. And then, 4 o'clock in the morning comes early on a Monday night football game. But hey, shout out to my guy, Marcus Kane, always showing love to all the Eagle content creators. Appreciate the $2 super chat.
Yeah, Mike, what bothered me about that sequence is that I would see the 6-man boxes and I would see we were getting gashed in the 6-man box. I'm like, okay, we got to commit more to the run. But I'm like, let me see what they're doing. And I don't know if it was just circumstance or if they just saw this on film and they were like, yo, let's attack them here. But every time I was watching that 6-man box, whether it was from a 51 front, a 4-2-5 front, whatever it was, anytime I looked and I saw that 6-man front, I saw that they were pretty much in 12 or 21 personnel.
Uh-huh.
So they're getting extra, helmets on that 6-man front, and they're gashing the crap out of us. And look, I know that part of Gannon's scheme is he will exchange yards for time. That's part of the scheme. But we also know that the number one goal of this staff, outside of winning the football game, is their objective to win the big play rate. You can't win the big play rate giving up 20, 30, 40-yard rushes. That's not going to work. Anything over 12 is considered a big play by this coaching staff. In my opinion, Mike, that has got to be not just better, but like exponentially better tonight.
Yeah, I agree. And real quick, shout out to the birthday boy, which is Avante Smith, Slim Reaper. Today's his birthday. And the last time he played against this Washington blah, blah, blah team, he went off. It was in Washington, but that still was like a home game for the Eagles. Trust me, I was there. Do y'all see Smitty? I put a little a picture of him from that Washington game and said, do we think the birthday boy gets busy again? Do we think the birthday boy gets busy tonight at the link? What y'all take?
Yeah, I mean, when I look at it, I can't put past nobody getting busy it's talent and scheme, and also the quarterback play. But the play of these wide receivers, man. Anybody at any given day, any one of these guys can go off of being 40, of being 50. You know what I mean? And it might take 9 catches, or it might take 6 catches. This talent around, like I said, I kept saying this in the beginning of the season. People thought I was tripping by saying it. I got plenty of people trying to clown me on my comments or whatever the case may be. But I said it, man. This is the most talent any quarterback has ever had for the Philadelphia Eagles. All around the board is somebody that can not only hold their own, but go get it. It's somebody that can score, put up points. Dallas Goedert is the top 3 tight end in the league, and it's not even close. Avante Smith is one of these young guys. He got young wide receivers ahead of him, but he could be a number 1 on any team. But it just so happens that you have a guy that is also a number 1 who's just a monster in A.J. Brown. And then you got your Miles Sanders, you know what I mean? And hopefully they can start getting Quez Watkins the football. I would love to see that. But all in all, to answer your question, Mike, yes, I can see that. I can see any of these guys just going for 150 for 9 receptions.
And I hate to do it to him, man, because it's his birthday. And I want him to go off because of the pattern of how they play. But the thing is that Washington straight up traded out their only man corner, basically. They got burnt playing man coverage against us the last game, and now they've reverted into more of a cover 2 style. So I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not saying that Avante Smith can't find windows and zones and sit in them, but I do feel like this is a game to where Dallas Goedert once again could have a big time game. And I think A.J. Brown working that middle of the field is going to be a big game for him.
Yeah, real quick, I can hear the announcement. Fresh, they all like, we all know where Fresh is going now. No, I'm just kidding. Fresh on a little vacation. We're not gonna say where he's going unless he want to say it. But
yeah, I ain't got no problem saying it. I mean, ain't nobody gonna meet me there. So, no, I'm actually coming on my honeymoon, man. Coming on my honeymoon, should I say? Going to Vegas, man. Going to Vegas. I'm in Orlando right now, waiting on my flight. And just living life, just living life.
There we go. There we go. So Gay, I agree. I think there's no way that Washington, we already saw them switch up their coverage, since we played in week 3, and definitely they're not going to try to get caught in no man to man. Both AJ and Avante were able to eat. Avante again really ate. Best game of the season by far was against Washington. I just don't see them matching up with us, really, though, with that secondary. So they're going to have to play zone, and that's where Dallas Goedert could come in handy. But it would be nice because we got a lot of Eagle fans and NFL fans that keep saying, "Where's Devontae? Where's Devontae?" And if there was one day for Devontae to come out, why not be on your birthday? So hopefully he does do what he needs to do. But let's talk about Miles Sanders a little bit. This Washington front is no slouch when it comes to stopping the run. They got big dudes up front. They're actually pretty good at getting at the quarterback as well. I think they're second in pass rush rate, win rate as a group. Correct me if I'm wrong. But if you look at Miles Sanders down the list, he's having one of his better seasons, probably the best start to his season so far in his short career. His worst game of the season was against Washington. Does he get to have a little production this game second time around?
I mean, that's going to be a tough one. It's going to depend on how much they want to sell out in the box to win. And I do know that's one of the other changes they've made is they're playing a 50 front now. They're reverting into getting that 5-man front. So it just depends on like how much effort do you want to exert there? Because if you bring everybody in the box like that, the Eagles are not shy to throw that quick tunnel screen stuff outside on you. And I do think that will work and play pretty well against a 50 front because you're getting guys to the edges. It's tough, man, because like Mike, if you ask me, I would think that the game plan will involve Devontae Smith early. They're going to try to get something started. I do think that that's definitely probably going to be part of the game plan. Man, they got to kick these guys out of that interior box if they're going to have, rushing success. And that's not an easy thing to predict, bro, because those are two really good defensive tackles. I'm not going to cap like that. Those two dudes can play in the middle.
Yeah. Fresh. I think you're still muted.
Damn, my bad. I think if Kelsey's on his game, we're talking about the running backs against the linebackers, right?
Yeah.
If Kelsey's on his game, he can get up to the second level with any linebacker in the league. So I'm not too worried about it. And you also got Jalen Hurts. I'm not gonna lie, Jalen Hurts, 10 yards here, 23 yards here the last couple games. I think he goes for about 60 to 70 yards today, and he might need to because of the 52 front that you were saying, Gates. I think that a lot of those RPOs. I think that their aggressive linebackers are going to be going with the running backs, and I think that's going to put Jalen Hurts in spots to gash them 15 yards here, 12 yards here, and like that because of the aggressiveness of that 52 that you was just talking about. So to me, I think that's really where they're going to get gashed today. Miles Sanders has a okayish game. You know what I mean? I got him having like 50, 60 yards, but I think that Jalen Hurts might be one of those games Jalen Hurts leads the and you don't want this, but it might be one of those games Jalen Hurts leads the running back room, if that's what you want to call in yards today.
I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is not a game where I need Miles Sanders to eat. And again, if you're looking at this Washington's defense, I think their front is the only thing they really got to rely on. So it's like beat the team that you're facing the best way possible. And it's that secondary. That secondary is vulnerable when you look across the field and you see Goddard, birthday boy Smitty, and AJ Brown. That's a very vulnerable. You just can't match up. So, as much as I would like to see Miles regain what happened week 3, I'm all about the dub. And the best way to do that is to attack their secondary. I do agree with Fresh that we could see, and we haven't seen much of Jalen Hurts' legs, but this could be a game where he uses his legs a little bit more, just to remind you guys he still got that in his bag as well.
It's possible. I mean, it's possible. I hope it doesn't get to that point where we have to do it, but
No.
you always got to be mindful that, hey, man, if you load the box too much and we can get outside on you, they're going to get outside on you, and they're going to take advantage of that. I will say that to me, Mike, this is a game that if you can use some gap blocking and you can do some things, maybe some deception with disguise, try to get the eyes moving a little bit on the defense, right? Try to do some more motion, some more stuff like that, some things we're not used to seeing necessarily from Steichen in the offense. Although I will admit, since the break, we've seen more of it than we did early on in the year. I think this would be a good time for that stuff. Give them a little bit of the deception. You know, I know the Eagles love to run that tight end cross. Hey, this is a good time for that, man.
Agree 100%. And again, we touched on this earlier. I just want to bring it back up because a lot of the chat's talking about it. Listen, we got over 400 people watching. We are live on 3 different channels, so it might not look like it. I'm not lying to y'all, but hit that like button wherever you're watching it. Subscribe. Again, Philly Talk Podcast, Philly Freshest channel, and Gate City Sports channel. Hit the like, subscribe. Avante Maddox is on IR. We were all coming into this game knowing Josiah Scott would have had to been the guy to play in the slot. We would have to fill in for Maddox in multiple ways because Maddox is not just your slot corner, and he does so much, and he allows Gannon to call the defense more aggressive because of Avante Maddox athleticism and being able to be put on an island against a guy in the slot, whether it's, you know, watching the linebacker doing this, that, or a tight end or doing this, that, and the third with a slot receiver. He's not only out for this game, but IR mean 4 weeks. We did touch on it and we talked about it. But my new question to you guys is, did you see something of this magnitude coming? Because when he first popped up on the injury report on Thursday, I was like, you know, I did a video like, what's up with this? Now, I know we didn't practice early in the week due to the fact that we had like another mini bye playing on Thursday and not again until Monday. So Nick gave these guys some time off. But I looked at it like, last time Avante Maddox wasn't on the injury report all week. He popped up with a hamstring or hamstring or ankle, and he missed a week or two. And then I seen him be on an injury report on Friday, and I'm like, I'm trying to remember when in the Texans game, when did he get banged up? Because I don't recall. Some people said on my video that he went out at the end of the game. But I'm thinking with the 11 days off, you're talking about IR? That's 4 weeks. Like, are you concerned that this hamstring is going to be something that, you know, can just keep bothering him past 4 weeks and into the rest of the season?
First, that's what I'm gonna say. I don't like how it was handled. Why did it take 11 days for y'all to put him on IR? That's a whole week. Is it something that's getting worse? Like, I'm confused. And if it is something that's getting worse, what is the medical staff doing that is making it worse? That's number one. Number two, this is the weirdest thing that I have seen since that year and a half stinger from Jordan Howard. Like, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I get it. I understand. But it's just weird. Injuries don't usually go backwards unless it's a bad surgery or stuff like that. But your body, especially when you are a physical athlete, a physical freak, as Avante Maddox is, your body, it should be able to heal itself, not for your body to get worse. But I do got to get out of here, so I'm gonna get my score prediction, offensive, defensive players, so I can get out of here. I got.
Fresh, real quick, man. Philly girl been asking you for your email or your Cash App. She want to send you a gift for your honeymoon, bro.
Email freshfit215@gmail, and whoever says it, thank you, I appreciate it. But offensive player, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna go with the birthday boy because I know none of y'all's gonna pick in the way that y'all was talking. So I'm gonna go with the birthday boy, Devontae Smith. I think he goes for. I'm gonna give him 97 yards in the tub. Defensive player of the game because the Maddox is out. I'm gonna have to go with the guy that's leading the league in interceptions at 5, and that would be C.J. Gardner. The score position is 33-20.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Listen, I gotta get out of here. See y'all next week. Y'all already know, man. Stay fully, stay fresh, y'all.
Congrats, man.
Congrats. Yeah, enjoy, enjoy. Interesting. He got the birthday boy and CJ Gardner Johnson with a 33-20 score prediction. I ain't mad at that. He definitely stole the birthday boy. I was gonna low key go that way, but it is what it is. Yeah. So it just prior to getting on here, just waking up today, right? Regular Gate City, waking up, thinking about this Eagles game. Did anything come out like maybe because a little bit talking too much trash on the Cowboys, but like, did you have any fear of like, what if this happens, or do you feel pretty comfortable with the Eagles taking care of business tonight?
I mean, I definitely feel comfortable with the Eagles taking care of business, to be honest. But I mean, look, there is some merit to saying that a team sees you a second time around. There's some element to basically having more of a feel for what you do, having an idea of like the flow of the games and what you like to do in situations and scenarios. With that said, man, there's been a lot of teams that kind of knew what was coming at them. It hasn't really been a surprise, and they have been unable to stop this team. To be quite honest, anytime this team has really wanted to put a team away, it has, and the proof is in the pudding. I mean, we're on a historic rate this season for blown leads, and we ain't one of them. We ain't one of them.
Yeah. Again, it just keeps getting overlooked what the Eagles are doing this year. And again, when you really break it down, how each game is just, sometimes polar opposites, right? You got the heavy rush game, you got the defensive game, and we had a couple 300-yard passing games from one Jalen Hurts. And one of his 300-yard passing games came against this same team. Again, we talked about Avante Smith eating a birthday boy, but let's not act like Jalen Hurts didn't have like dang near 300 at halftime. He had like 2 something, and then he finished. We didn't score much in the second half, but he finished with over 300. I think it was 340, if I'm not mistaken. Do you see that type of performance for Jalen Hurts, who is, listen, I call Jalen Hurts over Josh Allen when they lost to the Jets. I think this Vikings performance between Allen, the Bills and the Vikings, Allen performing too many turnovers in the last 3 games. I think it's 1A, 1B, Mahomes and Hurts right now. That's my 2. I'm not mad if you say Mahomes because he's doing his thing too. But I'm always gonna go side with Jalen Hurts. But I think that is the talk. It's Mahomes, Hurts, Allen is another tier down, possibly with the Tuas and the Lamar Jacksons.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to predicting or categorizing the quarterbacks, man, a lot of it's preferential. I'll say this. I like your top 2. I think both of those quarterbacks are incredibly difficult to defend for a defense. And I do think that, Mahomes has shown that without Tyreek Hill, he's still a threat. He's still crazy arm angles, can still make you pay. In terms of this game and the game flow of it, Mike, and kind of what we think will happen when you get out there in terms of Jalen Hurts' performance. That's what you were asking about. Like, what do you think is, what do you think the numbers are going to be? I think so much of it is predicated on how much Washington can keep up, right? Because I felt like there were plenty of games this year, Mike, that Hurts could have thrown for 300 yards if our opposition could have even kept the game within 2 scores. And it's just in times to where, like, the coaching staff is going to run the ball in the second half because there's not much of a threat. And it's like, that's the part that, like, if you're looking to pad the stats, I'm not going to name a certain quarterback who I feel does that. But if you're looking to pad the stats, you know what I'm saying? Like, we get robbed at an opportunity because that's not our identity. Our identity is if we got you down by 2 possessions in the second half, get ready to basically get run into the dirt.
And that goes so overlooked in the sense that there's so many people that are legit box score watchers, just number, not really crunching what happens. What are you doing when you are, what are you doing in the first half of football games? What are you doing when it's a 7-point ball game? What are you doing when it's competitive? Right? Compared to what you're doing at the end, a 1-yard touchdown in the 4th quarter against a team that got like 3 wins. Like, yes, it adds and you got one guy doing that, and then you got another guy sitting out for the last 9 minutes of a game where he easily would have been over 300 yards passing. He didn't play the last 9 minutes, and he had 285 passing. That is the difference. Mm-hmm. So while Jalen Hurts is MVP race statistically still, because 18 touchdowns to 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble loss. It's ridiculous to see the production and touchdowns to the turnover ratio, where even you got guys in the 24s, but with 13, 14 turnovers. I think Mahomes got like 24 or 25, but he got like 6 or 7 turnovers. All that being said, we do not stuff the stat sheet. We get the W, and that's it. And I know a lot of people want to get the gas on the foot on the gas pedal in the second half, but I don't think we just don't care. I just think it's a strategy, and so far it's led to health. It's led to a perfect record, and I can't complain. You are so right that Jalen Hurts is being, not cheated, so to say, but schemed out of so many stats that honestly doesn't matter, because the main stat that he cares about, that we care about, that real fans care about is dubs.
Exactly. Yeah. And look, I'm not going to lie, Mike. Both of us are pretty good friends with Jay Tuck. And, Tuck and I always talk in the off season. We kind of do our little live stream once a year together in the off season. Do I want the numbers to just kind of rub in Tuck's face?
Oh, yeah.
I kind of do. I'm not going to lie. But I also much rather be like talking about our second Lombardi trophy over some stats, to be real.
You said it perfectly, because the tongue and the narrative on one Jalen Hurts is that, he's a game manager. He can't really do this, that, and the third. And it's not. It's the box score watchers that really spew that out. It's not the football watchers. And again, the numbers are never going to look that great. Again, name a quarterback. In the end, name another team that sat their quarterback for 9 minutes in a ball game. There's been some blowouts. I mean, I've seen some blowouts this season, but still they're playing them. I still see a Pat Mahomes, a Josh Allen in the opening game against the Rams. They were beating him by 3 scores. He's playing to the very end. Like, other quarterbacks stay in the game. The Eagles are just the city of brotherly love, and they only care about, the end result and not stats. But I do agree. You got too many people chirping, and it would be beautiful to say, because that Pittsburgh game would have been an easy 300-yard game. There was another game where we ran the ball so much in the second half. There's been multiple times where we could have accomplished that, but we got the main stat 8-0.
You already know, Mike, because we know, because we got friends on the other side, the opposition side. We got friends we talk to, and we already know what the excuses are going to be. Well, he ain't throw for over 35 touchdowns. We know, Mike. We know, man. And it stinks, because the coaching staff's doing the right thing. And the proof is in the pudding. They have not dropped the game with the lead. But, man, the bragging rights, bro, it does mean something on this platform. It does, because I would love to see everything destroyed by Jalen Hurts. Everything about this NFC East quarterback play. I would love to see everyone just have to look up and go, yeah, except for Jalen Hurts got the record there. It stinks, man. It stinks, but you know what? I'll take the W's. Because, they could talk about 4,900 passing yards and 37 touchdowns, but if we go 17-0, boy, it's going to be real loud in the offseason. That's all I'm going to say.
Yo, real loud. I mean, each week I've been louder and louder, and I don't normally come out here with all this. Like the video I made yesterday I literally gave up on, I low-key gave up on the Packers. I was watching that game. I was tweeting the crap out of everything that happened negative against the Cowboys. Then I saw the 28-14 lead. I figured I might get a jump on because I wanted to do a video about the Saints draft pick and the Eagles being officially better than the Bills. So I go upstairs to do that. Then I get a text message and I'm getting a bunch of notifications like, do you see the game? So I turn the game on upstairs. I'm like, hold on to this video. I watched the rest of this game. And between what's been going on since we played the Cowboys via my Twitter, y'all don't really see it on YouTube, but they have been harassing me. And I just respond back. And so with that being said, it was about time to let them know in the video. And I'm going to do it the rest of the year. Tyson Harris, though, with a $5 super chat. It's Smitty's B-Day. Remember what happened last year on his birthday. That's true, too.
Look, I'll take anyone who's going to put up a big production game today. I really will. I mean, Here's the thing that's killing me, Mike, is like, that my thing that I keep picking a player until they finally prove me right? How many weeks did I hold on to Miles Sanders, bro? I kept predicting it until I got it eventually. But it just kills me with this game on Smitty because I'm like, man, I know that they've made adjustments defensively. I mean, there's a part of me that hopes they try to man up on Smitty because I do think this would be a Smitty game if they tried to man up on him. But I don't know, man. I think they would be foolish. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, as Tyzon said, Smitty did do really good last year on his birthday, and he got his birthday games being one of his better games, and so far he got his Commander games being one of his better. Tyzon definitely remembers the fact that week 3, this man Smitty had like $150 at halftime, and again we cooled off in the second half. But this Eagles team has grown from their second half woes, so to speak, at least since the bye week. Say what you want about it was Pittsburgh, it was the Texans, but the second half of football games look different for this team since the bye week. And I think that's what this coaching staff's focus on. So Smitty got his B-Day to show off for, and he got to keep that Commanders killer streak, right? Boston Scott's the giant killer. We got to come up with our new Cowboy killer. That might be A.J. Brown. We might have to make A.J. Brown the Cowboy killer. But I would like to, engrave Smitty as the Commander killer. You know what I mean? We got to get that to be the new thing. We're not going to stay on here much longer. We still will get some more stuff out, but let's get our score predictions and player of the game just out, just in case we got to jump up off here. You want to go first, Gate?
Yeah. Because I mean, obviously Smitty's out of play because Reese took him.
He stole him before he left.
Yeah, exactly. He gonna throw it in there, then leave us. All right, I'm gonna say that. Look, the name of this game is to beat the odds. That's how you win this competition. So I'm gonna go with the person that has the longest shot at doing it. So it's gonna make me look really good if it comes true, because it's definitely not something I would probably normally predict by the flow of the game. I'm gonna say Miles Sanders offensively. I'm gonna say Miles Sanders. This is not a game I would normally predict, but, obviously, like I said, the name of this is to try to win it, and you got to go with the unexpected. So I'm going to say Miles. Defensively, man, there's something about Josh Sweat when he plays Washington, man. He kind of comes to life. I'm going to say Josh Sweat defensively.
Score prediction that you try to skip out of?
I try it every week, man. Damn, bro, you just be really paying attention to that score prediction. All right, score prediction. I don't think this is going to be a blowout game as much as I want it to be. I just think it does get tougher the second time you play somebody. But I'm also aware of the fact that it's a home environment. So I'm going to predict a double-digit score, although it may not seem – it may seem closer than what the double-digit score would indicate. I think we're putting a 30-burger up. I do. I'm going to say 31-20 Philly.
31-20?
Yep.
I like it.
Sean, look at Sean Jackson. As soon as
What'd he say?
31-20.
Look at that. Perfect.
Yeah.
Great minds think alike. Shout out to the individual, though. He said it's my 39th birthday, too, and I know Smitty got heart now. Shout out to you. 39 is a great number. You right there on the cusp of that 40 piece. But, I'm 31, so I still got a ways to go. Offensive player, I'm going to go. Can't go Smitty, can't go Miles. We don't never say Jalen Hurts because that's a given. So it leaves me with two real guys, AJ Brown and or Dallas Goedert. I'm going to go AJ Brown because another Cowboy fan that I am friendly with off YouTube, on Twitter, we work together. His name is CFT. And he took that loss by the Cowboys hard last night, right? He came up today. He woke up today, and he decided to put up a picture. And he said, just observing, side note, that CeeDee Lamb has 706 yards, and AJ Brown has 718. And I just found it funny that he got this up as early as possible because he knew that AJ Brown didn't play yet. So I need AJ to come out there and get close to 100 yards, add a tub or two on that just to be getting closer to 10. Go out there and get 100 yards. So now when the game's over, I can go tweet that tweet and put the new score, the new mathematics in there that we're not 30 yards away because you played an extra game than us. So I got AJ Brown on the offensive side, and on the defensive side, you went Sweat, Fresh went CJ Gardner-Johnson. I Slay Bradbury. There's a lot of good people to pick. TJ Edwards, anybody from the defensive line, for the simple fact we had 9 sacks last time. It's not Carson, it's a different quarterback. But I'm going to go somebody that a lot of people are starting to low-key dislike. And I think it's a comeback game for one Marcus Epps. A lot of people were down on him. The game before he dropped what could have been an interception. Texans game, he got ran over a lot. I think he starts to bring us back. I think he's going to do a play today, whether it's a hit that turns into a fumble or a pick that makes us say, okay, Epps. So I got Epps. And for my score prediction, I'm going to go a little lower. I think we can drop a 30 burger, but I think it's second time around. I got a score in 27, but our defense holds them to 17. 27-17, 10-point victory.
Okay. I like it going with the averages.
Yeah. The Eagles are what? Number 2 in the NFL in points per game. Am I right? At 28 point something?
Yeah, it sounds about right, Mike. I don't have it in front of me, but yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah, and the chat's like, Epps, you're really picking Epps, and that's that. I knew that was going to get that reaction because,
I picked him for 2 weeks in a row, bro, and he dropped an interception on me and broke my heart. I couldn't do it no more, bro.
Yeah, I know. But it's like playing that slot machine. You play. You left it now. Now I'm gonna get on there and pull the lever and get the cash prize with a pick from Marcus Epps.
I'm gonna be mad as hell if he gets an interception tonight. Everybody's like, Gate, why are you mad? Man, I picked up for 2 weeks.
Yep. And it's crazy because Philly 500, shout out to him, man. He warned me about the MLB streams. And then he couldn't stream for a little bit. He's back better than ever. But he was in my chat a couple of times and he was like, Marcus Epps is starting to stink. He was calling him Marsha Epps and everything. So, the fan base a little down, but I think he comes out. Mark my words, a turnover via Epps. But with that being said, I'm about to hop off. You got anything you want to touch on real quick, Gate, before we get up out of here?
Takeem. My guy Takeem won a bet a while ago. Speaking of Marcus Epps, I got your Marcus Epps hoodie in, the customized hoodie for you, man. So I'm going to ship that out to you, bro. I'll probably get that shipped out sometime tomorrow or Wednesday for you. But nah, man, just 9-0, bro. I don't care if it's a 1-point win, Mike. I don't care if it's a 30-point win. 9-0 is 9-0.
Yeah. Did you see that the NFL panel, NFL network, what they picked? All the everybody picked the Eagles to win, right? And they all had their different score predictions. D. Gordon, you know what he's been picking the last 2 weeks? He said we were going to beat the Texans 8-0. Not really because the score prediction. He just said that 8, and he just skipped the score prediction and said 8-0. And now he picked the score prediction between us and the Commanders 9-0 for 9-0. He just keeps going with the record each time on NFL Network. It's funny. With that being said, listen, we are live on 3 channels. One of them left for his honeymoon. The other 2 are still here grinding, talking Eagles. Philly Talk Podcast, Gate City Sports Channel, wherever you're watching it, please hit that like. It's free, it's easy, don't cost a thing, and it's a little thank you for the content creators. Also subscribe, type the names in the search bar, all that good stuff. He will be breaking down the game, good, bad, ugly, sad, the rest of this week. Same will I. And also, I will be going live in about 25 minutes to do the live play-by-play. So if you're into listening to somebody ramble on about the game while the game's going on, have some company if you're watching it by yourself, come through to the live play-by-play. Gate, 9-0, right? You're guaranteeing it. Guarantee.
As much as a guarantee could be in the NFL, bro.
They're all like, but Gate said. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, I do feel good about it too. I just know that all the Cowboy fans that were responding to me from last night and this morning were saying, y'all better not lose. And so I said, we won't. Don't worry about us. Don't worry about us.
They hoping, bro. It's all hope now. But don't worry, they don't watch our games, Mike. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they don't watch our games, but they don't watch our game, but they sure know exactly when it's over. They're the first ones in the comment section talking that talk. And the
Exactly.
interview's happening right now. I thought the interview was going to happen at 6:30, but
Okay, is it now?
they're doing it right now. It just popped up.
Okay.
You think
All
if I
right.
turn it up loud enough for people to hear it? No, I'm just kidding. All right. The interview's happening right now on ESPN. Hurts, McNabb, Vic, all talking with RG3 about the quarterback position in Philadelphia. So I'm going to listen to it for a little bit before I go live again. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Gates, say your goodbyes.
Hey, man, we appreciate y'all. Fly
Make
Eagles
sure you
fly,
got
bro.
the Fly Eagles Fly. Turn on notifications so you know when we go live or drop videos. We are out. Peace.